Up until my 20s, I was someone with the lowest self esteem and always felt awkward in my own skin. I was insecure about my life and had no clear goal or direction. Like most of my peers, after I graduated from university, I got a 9 to 6 corporate job. Little did I know that I would fall into a constant state of tiredness and despair from the mundane and unfulfilling work. I was operating like a robot on a work, sleep, eat, repeat cycle, too drained to think of anything else outside of work. It felt like I was merely surviving, not living my life. As time passed, I became increasingly afraid that this was how the rest of my life would be. This fear became so strong that it compelled me to find an alternative way of life that didn't involve a 9 to 6 job. It was then that I came across the concept of financial freedom and my life started to change. I had a goal of building enough wealth to be able to break free from a corporate job and live life on my own terms. I have been on this journey to financial freedom for about 6 years now. And in the process of accumulating tangible wealth, I never expected that this journey would also impact me in intangible ways. Here are the 4 non-monetary ways that this journey has changed me. For the longest time, my default mindset when it came to doing something new was almost always, I can't. If I did take on something new, it was usually out of duty or external pressure, and it was always approached with the lowest of confidence and a good amount of anxiety sufficient to keep me up at night. There would be negative self-talk like, I'm not good enough. I'll probably make a mess out of this. I can't do it perfectly. This self-sabotaging mindset and fear of failure led me to say no to many opportunities and life experiences during my schooling years and in my early 20s. Since being on this journey, it was necessary to try and learn new things if I wanted to break out of the status quo of working at a job until I retire old and gray. The fear of the status quo was much greater than the fear of stepping out of my comfort zone. So I said to myself that I can at the very least try, and that made all the difference. It took time to learn to recognize when my default mindset of thinking, I can't, is getting in my way, and to consciously change that thinking to, I can try. In between was a conscientious effort of shutting up the negative self-talk that would pop up in my head, telling me that I can't, and countering them with kind, positive self-talk like, I can give this my best shot. It's okay to fail, I can pick myself up again. And I don't have to be perfect at it. It doesn't matter if I can't do it now. It doesn't matter even if I don't think I can do it. All I needed was a commitment from myself to just try. Over time, my new default became, I can try, when it came to stepping out of my comfort zone. It's embarrassing and sad to say, but I was very much a people pleaser in the past. I didn't want to upset others and would do things that I didn't want just so that they would think well of me. I kept my true self and my views hidden. I said yes a lot and nodded a lot in conversations with these people who were my teachers, supervisors, and even random shop assistants, salespeople doing cold calls, and people on the streets asking for donations. It's funny how I was able to say no to stepping out of my comfort zone, but that word disappeared from my vocabulary when it came to rejecting others. I don't really know why I was like this, but this gradually changed after I had the clear goal of achieving financial freedom. Behaving in a way that pleased others instead of myself was no longer serving me. I am responsible for reaching my own goals, and no one would be more upset than me if I didn't achieve it. At the end of the day, others' opinions of me would not help me to reach my goal. It's the actions that I take that would bring me closer. So I had to do things that others may not like, such as saying no to overtime at work if it didn't involve urgent matters, because the time after work is so precious and so limited that I have to use it to learn and do things to bring myself closer to my goal. Over the years, I learned to break free of my obsession with what others thought of me, and to remind myself that it's okay to be myself, it's okay to put myself first where it matters the most. I used to compare myself with others so much that my mood and self-esteem would swing like a pendulum. One moment I'll be feeling alright with myself, and the next, after hearing or seeing something about someone else, I'll be feeling like crap. In school, I compared myself with others on grades and the number of internships done to build up our resumes before graduation. And upon graduation, I compared myself with others on the jobs that we got, and how fast someone managed to get a job in a competitive labor market. At work, it was about comparing with peers on who got promoted faster and who earned the highest salary. And being on this journey to financial freedom has also led me to start comparing myself with others on financial milestones, such as how much our net worth is by a certain age, and the age at which we would attain financial freedom. I remember being self-conscious and feeling the anxiety build up when I realized that I was falling behind the people that I was comparing myself with. On this journey to building wealth, I tried so many things that others who were on the financial freedom journey were doing. While some of the things worked for me, others were major failures. I was beating myself up about it and refusing to let go until so much time and money that I invested into it was wasted. It was counterproductive, and I was moving away from my goal rather than towards it. It's okay to try new things, as I mentioned earlier, but it became a red flag when I was unable to move on from it and was hung up on comparing the outcome of my efforts with others. What worked for others on the journey to financial freedom may not be a good fit and may not work for me. It's this realization that led me to ask myself why I was comparing myself with others and trying to be like them when I am not them. We are different people with different personalities, aptitudes, likes and dislikes, and so on. This change in perspective freed me from the weight of comparison, which I didn't realize was so heavy and draining before. This is why my financial freedom journey is now focused on finding my own path, finding what works for me, instead of blindly following and comparing myself to what others are doing, which may not be sustainable for me in the long run. It's human nature to compare, and I wouldn't say that I am completely unaffected by such thoughts from time to time. But I have come a long way of learning to stop such comparisons when they pop into my head. The only person that I compare with is myself, and whether my present self has grown into a better version than my past self. One change built on another, and all the changes snowballed over the years. This fourth change is a combination of the impact from the prior 3 points. Being afraid of stepping out of my comfort zone, always worrying about what others thought of me, and constantly comparing myself with others made me a very self-conscious person that had a habit of hiding my true self. Learning to try new things and to stop comparing and letting others' opinions affect me, I was able to start feeling comfortable in my own skin and come out of the shell that I was hiding in for years. I didn't like the person that I was before, but now, I like the person that I am becoming, a person who is striving to do her best to reach her goals and to be her truest, authentic self every day. Never had I expected that my journey to financial freedom would impact my life beyond the financial aspects. It has changed me from the inside out, and the impact is visible in how my outlook on life has changed. Every day used to be just another day to get through. Now, every day is full of possibilities and is another chance for me to work towards my dreams. My mood has shifted towards the better. Being sad and tired from my corporate job was a constant for me in the past. Now, I feel happy and energized more often than I feel sad and tired. And finally, my attitude towards life has changed. From being a Debbie Downer to being my biggest cheerleader.